Here's the Staten Island Ferry. It connects Manhattan with Staten Island. It takes 25 minutes to get there. It leaves every half hour, and it's free. Governor's Island gets its name from when the British were here. They housed their royal governors on the island. Governor's Island. One of the governors from the 1700s is kind of fun. The Lord of Cornbury. He liked to put on his sister's dresses and go flouncing around the Battery. And that's what the newspapers wrote about. The big round building on Governor's Island is one of our defensive buildings for the War of 1812. The British were giving us trouble, so we fortified the harbor with. We're going to go under 3 bridges, the Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Williamsburg Bridge. The Manhattan Bridge gives us the name for the neighborhood in Brooklyn, which is Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, Dumbo. We have some other silly names for neighborhoods, like Tribeca, the triangle below Canal Street, a triangle of land below Canal Street, Tribeca. Phi for the financial district, and Soho, south of Houston Street. And I know in Texas you say Houston, but I grew up in a house, not a use. So I'm going to argue that we're correct in our pronunciation. But we can agree to disagree too. So as we get closer to the Brooklyn Bridge, there's a short neighborhood of historic buildings on the waterfront on the Manhattan side called South Street Seaport.
You can take it? No.
Museum, and then we got the square building on the pier that has a concert venue on the roof. And here's the South Street Seaport neighborhood. The wavy building on the Manhattan side is an apartment building by the architect Frank Gehry. We're gonna go under the Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg bridges. I'll catch up with you after the third one, the Williamsburg Bridge. I'll let you all enjoy the Brooklyn Bridge. Concession stands are open if you have any need for beverage. And then the restrooms are one level down from where you got on the boat. her, she's considered cold and unfriendly because she's just too direct, you know. I am also too direct. I forget to say good morning. I'm just like, hey, what do you want? And they're like, good morning, Alexis. And I'm like, all right, good morning. What do you want to eat for breakfast? I'm sorry. Manhattan's a little much. On the Manhattan side, we got a couple tall buildings. The one that looks like a stack of blocks on top is number 1 Vanderbilt. The Chrysler building has those beautiful arches with the diamonds in it, the triangles in it, the Art Deco building. And then down on the waterfront, the building with the big white dish out front with kind of those blue-green windows is the United Nations building. The United Nations building does not have any windows on the north or south side because they did not want any country to have the advantage of a corner office. So you either see east or west, the city or the water. So the big white dish is the United Nations building. On the Queens side, we're coming by a neighborhood called Long Island City, which, as you can see, is definitely shifted over the years into brand new apartment buildings. It mostly was industrial and shipping. And there was a Pepsi Cola bottling factory on Long Island. And the left would take us up the Harlem River and around Manhattan and back out to the Hudson. But we don't have time for that today. We have to go see a lady with a torch, right? Roosevelt Island is in the middle of the East River between us and Manhattan. Roosevelt Island used to be the place we put all the things. Cornell University has a new satellite campus on the island. It's accessible via subway, the bridge, and then there's also the red Roosevelt Air Tram, which we can't see from this angle, but you may have seen it in some movies or cartoons. The big building on the Manhattan waterfront that is not complete, so it's under construction with a diamond on it, is the new J.P. Morgan Chase building. So this 59th Street Bridge, it also has the name Ed Koch or Queensboro Bridge, all the same bridge. I like the functional name, 59th Street. It connects at 59th Street. And that's the new Cornell University campus on this side of the bridge. The park at the end of Roosevelt Island is called the Four Freedoms Park for Roosevelt's speech. As we're coming back by the United Nations, so the other side of the boat's going to get a view of the United Nations, the big white dish out front. Just to the left of the United Nations is 42nd Street. So as we come parallel with it, you can see all the way down to the other side of the island, and that's where we got on the boat. I'm going to come around, see if anyone has any questions. The concession stands are open, including beer, wine, cocktails, soda, water. I'll be back in a little bit to warm us up for the Statue of Liberty. I was giving a walking tour of Manhattan, and some people were ranting about the Brooklyn Tower. They hate it so much. It went on a little long, and then another guest asked me, "What do you think about the Brooklyn Tower?" And I tried to play it diplomatic, not like go too hard either way. It's like, it's new, it's tall, people don't like big and new things. And he was like, "I'm one of the architects." And I was like, "Oh, good thing I didn't go too hard on the Brooklyn Tower." And I asked him what he thought about it. He's very proud of it. Spots. There's two pizza places right next to each other. They're owned by the same person, so just go to the shorter line. So the Dutch were here from 1624 to 1664, and they had their little township of New Amsterdam. They came as far north as Wall Street, where they literally built a wall. And when I say wall, I mean like logs on the end with pointy tops kind of wall. That Wall Street is where we have Wall. The Wall is where we have Wall Street today. And as we're coming by this beige building just past this yacht and the leaning tower, there's a beige building with scaffolding on the top. And as we come parallel with the road to the left of that building, that is Wall Street. And if you look all the way down it, you can see Trinity Church at the end of it. I'm at the front of the boat. I'm not parallel yet. But look down to the left of that beige building, Wall Street. Maybe the front of the boat has it now. Yeah, there's Trinity Church. Hello, Trinity Church.